Hi there! Today I will show you how to make a chicken casserole in a slow cooker. For this casserole I'm using lots of different veg. I'm using sweet potato, organic white potato, mushrooms, courgettes, carrots, celery, onions, peppers, parsnips, and also I'm using, of course, chicken. So I'm using 1 kilo of chicken breast. I'm using some red sauce. I've got leftovers from pasta sauce, so I'm using that. Tomato puree, and of course lots of herbs and spices. So first of all, let's wash all the veg and start cutting in the chunky pieces. So I'm using quite large dish, slow cooker dish, which will basically provide my dinners for at least 2 to 3 days. So like I said, first wash the veggies. However, some things you don't wash, like mushrooms. Mushrooms really absorb the water, that's why you never wash them. So you just peel them, and I'm using big mushrooms because it's just easier and quicker to do. And they taste exactly the same. Chop them quite roughly, so quite chunky pieces. You don't need nothing smaller. Right. I've got here garlic. I'm using quite few cloves of garlic because I've got cold at the moment. So this basically will help me to get rid of my cold, hopefully. Cut garlic into halves. And again, nice chunky pieces. Red onion. So how I peel the onion is to cut it in half first. Then remove the outer layer, the very tough, hard skin. You can use white onion as well, but I prefer the red one because it's just mild the taste. Remove the edges. And again, cut it into half and quarters. And there's no need to put this onion apart because when it's going to be cooked, it's going to go apart anyway. So some things I will actually peel before I wash, like carrot. I'm using a peeler, so it's much easier and quicker to do. So carrot peeled, cut the ends off, and put it in the bowl to be washed in a second. Parsnip. This is very lovely root vegetable, very nice and sweet. So with this casserole, you see, you can put whatever you want. Any leftover veg which you haven't used. Sweet potato, and again just peel it. So if you have anything left over in the fridge and you want to use it up, make a casserole out of it, because when the veg is cooked, it's so lovely. And good thing about this dinner is very, very healthy because you don't have to put any oil whatsoever. And it's time saving. I'm going to cook this dinner overnight today. So tomorrow morning when I wake up, will be ready. So let's cut the celery first. And again, very large pieces. So it's very, very quick. With courgettes, always remove the ends because you don't need them. And again, nice large pieces, because don't forget, when the casserole is cooked, the vegetables will shrink anyway, so nice chunky pieces. Sweet potato, I'll do it in rounds. I love sweet potato, it's so good for you, lots of nutritions, very, very healthy. So again, large chunk pieces, parsnips. I usually do the same kind of casserole. Sometimes I might use slightly different vegetables. With these white potatoes, they are organic potatoes, so I'm going to leave the skin on. So I'll cut it into half first, and then into 3 pieces. So again, lovely. And with the skin, it's so much fiber. With pepper, pepper really cooks well in the casserole, and it goes very soft. So you don't want 2 small pieces, so quite chunk pieces as well. And with carrots, again, chunk pieces. So I'm going to cut the rest of the veg now, and then I will show you what to do next. Right, let me show you now how to cut chicken without actually contaminating the sides, because as you know, with the chicken you have to be very careful not to spread bacteria around. So I'm going to use scissors to cut the chicken. So first of all, obviously you have to cut the pack. I've got chicken breast here, 1 kilo of chicken breast, which I'm using for the casserole. So first of all, just take a chicken breast in your hand and just cut it into desired pieces. In this way, basically you don't have to use chopping board. You just cut the chicken and then put in the dish. If you cooking this chicken in something different, not in casserole, but maybe like in pasta, then of course you have to cut it in the smaller pieces. Because I'm using this chicken for casserole, I'm using nice chunky pieces. So basically, it cooks perfectly in the slow cooker casserole. And afterwards, when I finish with this, I'm going to put the scissors straight away in the sink, which I've got on my left hand side. Spray it with antibacterial spray, disinfectant spray. Wash my hands and then leave it for the scissors to basically disinfect, and then I will clean them. So this is the way you basically cook the chicken without spreading the bacteria. So I put the chicken now in the casserole dish. Now it's time to spice it up and put some herbs. So I'll put a little bit of flake of chili, so chili flakes. I'm going to add some thyme. So it depends what kind of spices you like. I'm just using quite basic spices, just not to kill the flavor too much. Now I'm using paprika. So just plain paprika, not smoked paprika. However, I used smoked paprika before and it was really, really lovely as well. So paprika. I'm using some oregano. What else? Normally I would put passata in. However, I've got half of the jar of tomato sauce left for pasta. So I'm just going to use that, because obviously it's opened, so I don't want to get it throw away, so that's why I can use it now. And tomato puree. And tomato puree is very, very good for you, and it brings out all the flavor of tomatoes. So I like to add quite a lot of it, because it really, really works well with the casserole. And now I'm going to just mix this up to cover everything in the sauce. And don't forget, in the casserole, when it's cooked, all the veg will bring out the sauces anyway, so it will come out the juices, so it will be nice and moist. And I'll put this in the overnight for the slow cooker on the low setting for 8 hours. Tomorrow morning, wake up and it's all done. So I'm going just to share this now, stir it. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Make sure you like it, make sure you comment on it, and remember to subscribe, and have a lovely day everyone.